Hello, my spider bee friend. So, I went for one card and I got two. One is of the air, and I believe the other was of the earth. So, air and earth, if that has meaning for you. As a general rule, bees are not a threat to. Well, bees and spiders are not enemies. I think a spider would happily eat a bee, but generally they're too big for their webs, so they don't catch bees. I'm trying to find the page, of course, because it hides, as always. So, spider, creator of prosperity through life's work, Dharma. The spider is an ingenious creator. Its greatest gift is weaving the thread of Dharma into a vast, intricate web that supports the spider and those around it, both financially and spiritually. It is hard work, but the spider neither tires nor becomes impatient. This card reminds us creativity is everywhere. Be process-oriented rather than results-oriented, and soon your work becomes like the weaving of a magical, priceless tapestry. Abundance follows. When in balance, appreciative, enthusiastic, prosperous. When out of balance, discouraged, tired, forlorn. To bring into balance, playful creativity. Aha, that's very interesting. We'll get to that in a minute. Here's the bee. Earnest, hardworking, democratic. The bee personality is a delight to be around, especially when there's a team project on the horizon. Bee loves to work steadily and thoughtfully until the final task is complete. They are sensitive creatures, aware of many subtleties at once. Since they're artists at heart, they usually add creative details to the overall vision. For the most part, they have bustling, joyous personalities until they're too tired from all the work. Then they gripe and then sting. When in balance, content, active, vibrant. When out of balance, overworked, annoyed. To bring into balance, a mini vacation. All right, I realize you haven't seen the other cards yet. I'm laughing because this is the vacation card. See? Kite, vacation, go fly a kite. Take some time to be playful. You got that from both the spider and the bee. Apparently you are very hardworking. Now, I do have a question. So these cards, of course, are to help you determine whether or not this is your reading. They may be about the past, the present, or the future, or just a general description of where you are in life. So first we have the broom, new home, new attitude. And then we have the ram, a stubborn, aggressive person. So new home, new attitude, stubborn, aggressive person. All right. And then over here, the bee is definitely not the stubborn, aggressive person. They're a team player. The spider is very supportive. So I do not think this is you. I think this is a person in your life. Which makes this new home, new attitude card very interesting. On top of that, we have position of authority. That's interesting. I mean, we have a throne. So this suggests someone who is not democratic. But you are democratic and supportive. So I'm seeing this person again. There's some sort of clash going on with this person. Perhaps you were hoping that with this new home, this broom, this clean sweep, things will either change with this person or with your connection to this person. Please bear in mind you cannot change anyone other than yourself. So they have to choose to change or not. There's nothing you can do except change yourself. And if you found that changing your location is the best thing to do, then that makes sense. All right, then we have November. I don't know what's going on in November. Maybe you're taking a vacation. Maybe that's when you met this person or decided to move or moved. Perhaps in connection to this move, we also have take care or there will be a loss of material wealth. And we also have a warning of a problem either now or in the near future. And it came out next to the shark. So I am thinking that it's connected to this need to take care. But you also have a period of prosperity and abundance coming up. Perhaps after this vacation? Who knows? Perhaps after this change in attitude or location? Perhaps you are taking charge of your own life now, moving away from someone who appears to have been not very nice. Probably a bit controlling. So, I do hope you're getting a vacation. It's pretty much guaranteed that we all need one, given our lives today. But let's see why you are here. What is going on that you have come to this reading? Why did you click on this reading? Of course, this is for Spider Bee people. Seems you're feeling a bit lost. Let's try to get one more row here. 3 more cards. Oh, that's interesting. They came out 3. Right next to each other. Okay, so there's definitely a sense of discovery or a wanting to explore. A surprise. Game changer. I think it's more of a game changer. But there's this barrier that you have to deal with before you get to the new beginning that you desire. There's a need for solutions, a need for communication. And then we have a challenge to the status quo. And a very important relationship. Perhaps a recovery of a very important relationship. So we have the dog person. This is a supportive friend, but it could also be a friendship turns to love, a soulmate. Perhaps something going on with a pet, especially a dog. But we have the recovery. The recovery of an item, health, money, friendship, relationship, enthusiasm, or energy. Yeah, I was definitely getting reconciliation vibes from this. I am wondering about your big discovery up here. Ooh. Let's see, I'll put it right there. You can go down here. again, we have beginnings, we have more than meets the eye, closure. We also have karma, reaping what you sow. So perhaps something is about to reach its natural conclusion. It does seem to be a rather complicated situation, though. All right. I think I'll go to tarot for this discovery, life path, truth seeking. Finding your way, perhaps? Oh, I don't usually use this deck. This is a mini deck. I showed a friend of mine a mini deck. She'd never seen one before. She loves all things mini. And so, of course, she loved this deck. She thought I should do like an Instagram post or something showing me attempting to shuffle these cards, because she didn't think I would be able to do it. And truthfully, I am not the world's greatest shuffler. Hanged Man. You have it in reverse, though. Why do you... resisting surrender, but you have seeking truth, finding your way. I guess you don't want this truth, whatever it is. You don't like it. Perhaps because it's going to take time. And you may not be willing to wait. You may be an impatient kind of person. A family legacy. 10 of coins. 10 of pentacles. I generally avoid using cards that have messages, or at least tarot cards, that have interpretations on them already, because I don't necessarily agree with them, but what the heck. I certainly agree with the resisting surrender, and good things take time. Perhaps you are more of a Knight of Cups, following your heart. So the Knight of Cups can be in love with love, but they like the romance, and a real relationship takes endurance, it takes diligence, it takes real hard work, it takes communication, it takes tolerance, patience, reciprocity. So while the Knight of Cups can be very emotional, they may not have the staying power. But here we have the Star, a wish granted. And the Nine of Cups, another wish granted. So the Star is a card of miracles, card of connection to the divine. The Nine of Cups in the upright, I think it's supposed to be in the upright, is emotional fulfillment, but also a wish granted. Well, this just came out. Crossing position. 9 of Pentacles. But it is in, like I said, in a crossing position. So I get the sense that you are not ready for this. You feel inadequate. Whatever you have discovered here, it is feeling overwhelming, perhaps. You are really surprised by it. It is a game changer. And I don't know what the obstacles are that you believe exist in relation to this. We can look at that. Although I will say, the Devil card came out. So, the Devil card, it's not just about deceit. It is about limitations that aren't real. It is about deciding that a problem is too big for you to handle. Which is a lie you tell yourself when you don't want to take on something. I mean, some cases it's true, but if you want this world, the end of a chapter, the successful end of a chapter. Oh, wow. All right. Okay. We have the Lovers and the Devil. So this is generally considered an indication of a soul connection because it is a bond that can't be broken. Romantic love, of course, and you can learn to move on if that is the right thing for you. And that's what happens with most people who find themselves in these connections. They work on their unhealthy patterns, and this connection forces them to work on their unhealthy patterns, and they learn to give themselves closure and move on. End that chapter, start a new one as a better, healthier person, which is wonderful and definitely worthwhile. Sorry, I'm trying to see if any more cards escaped me here. Doesn't look, well, there it is. I knew something did. Okay. So, let's get out another deck and look at the obstacle. We're going to look at the archetypes for this. Obstacle, problem, distant, solitude, pride, block, cold, indifferent, barrier, interruption, delays, stubborn. So you have the comic, the underworld, and the sustainer. These are all coming out as obstacles, or part of the obstacle. And I opened right up to sustainer, so that's where we're starting. This is 24. The peacemaker, the upholder, the preserver. The sustainer, the second archetype in the trio of existence, works behind the scenes, tending to the tasks of life. They cultivate gardens, pay bills, keep the meals warm, keep the mouths fed. The sustainer is at peace in the process of life, knowing there is no start to or finish to humble yet meaningful tasks. They have a natural inclination to nourish others, to archive, to preserve Earth's resources, to consider environmental impact, to see their role in the divine cycle of life. It's common for the sustainer to become overworked, leading to resentment. Their tasks aren't glamorous, and therefore the sustainer rarely receives the credit or attention that they deserve. The sustainer longs to hold things in place so badly, especially relationships, that they resist necessary change. Take time with this archetype. It is within us all and needs our love. All right. When light, abundant, generous, supportive, reliable. When dark, overworked, resentful, trapped, tired. Sounds like the typical mom. Contemplate what truly sustains you. Make a list. Notice how simple yet powerful those things are, and spend some time tending to them. Take note of the difference between maintaining and sustaining. Which action describes your life more accurately? Sounds like some need for self-care there, honestly. I bet you didn't think that was part of your block or obstacle. All right, next one is 48. Hang on, I've almost got it. The underworld, the nightmare, the ordeal, the bottom. This is no time to mince words. The archetypal territory of the underworld is fraught with nightmares, suffering, and pain. It is the darkest shadow realm where we try vigilantly to avoid or deny at all cost, which we try vigilantly to deny. Try as we might, the darkness pulls us into its depths through disturbing dream images, unexpected accidents, illnesses, war, conflict, and ultimately death. Not visiting the underworld is denying its existence altogether is what gives it dangerous power. Traversing it forces us to bow humbly to the greater forces that be, while summoning the inner strength we previously underestimated. Take solace that the underworld subsumes everyone from time to time, making us deeper friends, more intimate partners, soldiers of light amid our shadowy times. Facing darkness and choosing light is the most profound calling of all. Okay. When light, bravery, depth, facing of deepest fears. When dark, denial, suppression, evil, unconsciousness. Search for images of a map of Dante's Inferno. What does the story of epic descent stir in you? Yikes. One of the earliest stories on record is that of the goddess Inanna's descent. Turns out descending into the underworld is as old as time itself. And then finally, oddly enough, we have the comic. Perhaps it's a recommendation to lighten up for a little bit. How did that happen? Oh, it's 26. So it comes after the Sustainer. If you're interested, it goes Sustainer, Healer, and then the comic. Interesting progression. Okay, the comic, the Joker, the Clown, the Fool. The comic carries a remedy for all that ails this world. Amid the deepest pain and suffering, there is always the potential to lift up and out of the darkness through laughter. Though dismissed by some as lowbrow or unsophisticated, this archetype actually has a highly advanced mind. Some may use the word genius. As humor requires one to see the situation from afar rather than to be swept away by the drama. The comic sees and accepts the messiness of life, using it as material to be mixed and shaped into a potion to soothe the stressed and serious mind. They literally lighten us up. Thus, within the comic is usually the sage or the magician, working healing magic upon any audience who will lend an ear. The comic may be the archetype that heals the deep division in our world, one pun at a time. That's a nice thought, huh? You do remember the Robin Williams movie about Patch Adams? Maybe that would be good for you. When light, hilarious, ingenious, spirited, easygoing. When dark, sarcastic, harsh, brooding, drunk. The comic has plenty of shade to throw on others, and it can fall into shadow at the drop of a hat. Beware of their sharp claws. Joy, jokes, and smiles are signs of a happy heart. Be wary of spiritual practices or teachers who leave the comic by the wayside. Maybe you should get a laughing Buddha statuette. All right, so that's really interesting. That's a lot of information on your obstacles. And yeah, I'm going to leave it there for you to consider. I hope that was helpful to you. And I am wishing you all the best in your journey. And I commend you on having the courage and fortitude to undertake this journey. It's not an easy one. Keep going.